PFF TV, Solomon Wilcots, joined by Steve Palazzolo. And Steve, we're talking about the Rams' backfield. There's a lot of concern with Todd Gurley and that arthritic knee. Their general manager, Snead, recently stated that they have their very own version of Alvin Kamara in their backfield. Might he be implying that we can expect a lot from the third-round draft pick from Memphis, Darrell Henderson? Is that what we're expecting with the Rams?
Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to get out of him. And when you look at, best fits in the draft, Henderson was one of the best in the entire draft because of his style meshing perfectly with what the Rams do. Just starting as a runner. They ran a ton of outside zone at Memphis. It was Henderson's best run concept, over 10 yards per carry when running outside zone, and that's the Rams' staple run concept. They ran more than 50 outside zones, more than the next closest team. So from a stylistic standpoint, as a rusher, Henderson's going to fit. And of course, if you're going to be the next Alvin Kamara, you got to do something as a receiver. Henderson's big playability fits well in that role as well.
Pro Football Focus had Henderson as the number one running back in the college draft in terms of yards after contact. What does that mean for his overall production? What can we expect in 2019?
Yeah, as far as yards after contact, I think it's one of the more important ways of just separating a running back from his offensive line. And we've been not critical of Todd Gurley, but not as high on Todd Gurley as maybe others. We would never have put him in the MVP race last year at this time. And it's because he wasn't really creating those yards after contact. So when we look at his production, we say, look, that offensive line was great. The scheme is great. They're using jet sweeps all the time to create favorable looks. And Todd Gurley was the recipient there. We think if you give Henderson some of those same looks with his speed and big playability and his ability to create after contact, that he'll do a great job as well in that system.
So you're telling me that Henderson could end up being the most valuable back for the Los Angeles Rams in 2019?
Well, yeah, because even last year at that time when Todd Gurley got hurt, we saw C.J. Anderson step in and be productive. So, look, there'll be complementary pieces. We still like Todd Gurley, still think he could do a lot too, especially with what they do in the screen game. They put Gurley in space a lot, but just to ease the burden a little bit, Henderson, give him some of those space plays, let him use that speed, big playability.
Let's go more big picture with this conversation because NFL offenses, roughly 60% of the time, they're in 11 personnel. That's one running back, one tight end. They're expecting a lot from these running backs, what we call third down backs. These backs are also effective on first and second down because teams are throwing on those downs. Talk to me about the fact that Christian McCaffrey, in terms of the numbers that he put up last year, we talked about the reference to Alvin Kamara. Are teams looking to draft those type of running backs more, say, than the traditional style like an Ezekiel Elliott?
Yeah, I think so, because it's become a pass-first league, and it's all about creating those mismatches in the pass game. So if you are going to be out there with three wide receivers, I think the best teams have a big receiver that can go up and get it. They've got a shiftier slot receiver. They have a great route runner on the outside. You have a tight end that can stretch the seam. Then you want that running back that can be used as a receiver. Christian McCaffrey, I used to say, when he was coming out, he could be a slot receiver. He would be a second-round, maybe slot receiver.
And he proved it.
Yeah, and that's what he can do. So it's not just catching checkdowns. It's lining up in the slot. It's lining up out wide. And, oh, by the way, when you do check down or do give them a screen, they can do something with it. So, just like the Patriots, the best offenses are the ones that have an answer for everything. And having a receiving back gives you an answer. When you have that linebacker mismatch, when you have a running back that can win, it just gives the offense an answer to everything you're seeing.
I'm an old school guy. I love the Saquon Barkleys. I love the Ezekiel Elliott's. I love Todd Gurley. But I'm also sort of coming over to the other side. I'm learning about the value of the Christian McCaffreys, of the Alvin Kamara. And talk to me about James White. Where does he rank with those other two? Because he seemed to be very versatile in how the Patriots are using him.
Yeah, he did a little bit better job last year running the ball. And again, when James White runs the ball, it's 3rd and 4 and just trying to get 4. Not trying to do a whole lot, just take what's there. But as a receiver, we've seen how important he is for Tom Brady, how they use him in the red zone, and they use him as a mismatch guy too. Anytime they have man coverage, the Patriots don't have the best receivers on the outside to beat man coverage, but they have a James White that can handle a linebacker. So again, it's all about having answers. When you look at the Patriots offense through the years, there's no perfect style or theme. It's find the open man, and James White is one of those guys. That's what a good receiving back does for you.
So are we asking our fans to use the PFF matrix and begin to look at the running back position a little bit differently?
Yeah, I think so. It's a less valuable position because as a runner, the running back is dependent on so many other factors. But if you get the guy that can create those mismatches in the pass game, catch the ball out of the backfield, catch the ball out wide, there is value, especially when you have all those complementary pieces around the running back.
Running backs are becoming more valuable, okay, not devalued, more valuable, but when they can influence the passing game, their grade usually skyrockets and their value does the same. He is Steve Palazzolo. I'm Solomon Wilcots. This is PFF TV.